This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'd like to be joined by European Cruiserweight Champion Chris Billam-Smith. Chris, been a while. How are you, mate?
Very well, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Good, thank you for asking. Now, look, we're coming up to business time for you. The McCARTHY rematch, just a matter of days away, really. After all the carry on with Turkey and waiting to hear where opponents were going to be, firstly, is this just a fight that made sense ultimately?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a fight I can get up for. With everything obviously that happened, we didn't have, a huge amount of options, but this is a fight that makes sense. Obviously, it was a good fight last time. Another domestic fight, and they're the ones that I enjoy being in.
Just to go back to the first time around and kind of reflect on it, it was a competitive fight. Did he do much to surprise you? I know you kind of commented on his elusiveness, maybe. What did surprise you the first time around?
Yeah, it was quite hard to hit clean. I think that was my own doing. I think I thought I'd be able to find the shots easier. So I was just sort of forcing the pace and just putting it on him and just trying to just work away, really. Not a huge amount of thought process went into it. But yeah, it was like I said, it was a good competitive fight last time. But yeah, the rematch makes sense for me. With regards to the result, obviously it was a split decision, so it's a chance for me to put it to bed, and also the performance for me.
I found it interesting you said both you and Shane since the fight have kind of said to us that you believe you can perform better than that. Tommy McCarthy's coach came out when the rematch was announced and said he feels his fight was at about 70% and that you were 100%, but you feel you've got a lot more to offer than what we saw in the first fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got so much more to offer, and we know that that wasn't anywhere near my best. So yes, there's a lot more to offer this time for me, and that's great. If Tommy feels the same and his coach feels the same, then so be it. It should be an even better fight than last time.
In terms of what you feel you can improve, I know you said you may be looking for the one shot too much last time, maybe loading up a bit at times. Lessons learned in a competitive fight like that, but is it about staying composed and not rushing things as much?
Yeah, that's it. It's composure and concentration. I think something I've been working on this camp is that exactly, just being more consistent with my work. And I think this fight I'll definitely be a lot more consistent with an even higher work rate than last time, in terms of actually, I was taking too many rests last time in the middle rounds, and walking off, but this time the concentration is there. So I know I've been doing it in sparring and stuff. So yeah, it's we're ready to go.
If you are 100% and with everything you learned last time around, do you believe you can end this inside the distance?
Absolutely, yeah. I think me at 100% against anyone, it can go inside the distances. I can punch enough. I'm not like a one punch knockout artist, but the work rate and the intensity that I fight at, and the punches that I can pick out, and the placement of the shots, 100%, I can get rid of anyone, and especially Tommy.
One thing I want to ask you about was the British title situation. Obviously, you got the European belt, but I believe I'm right in saying with the way things were manoeuvred around and the fights that were offered to you, part of that was you vacating the British title. Did that come as a bit of a frustration to you, having to leave that behind?
Yeah, absolutely. I did actually ask Jake McGuigan to ask if I could be reinstated after I thought it was going to get boxed for when with Mikel Lawal and Dion Juma, but obviously whatever happened there happened. So I asked to get reinstated. Now I'm fighting Tommy. Obviously, I understand it against Turkey that I couldn't, but obviously last time me and Tommy boxed, it was for all 3 belts. So it would have been nice to put all 3 belts on the line again. Yeah, it was disappointing. We tried to get because at the time of the announcement, I had a mandatory in Fabio Turchi, so we tried to get them to delay the British purse bids so I could fight Mikel Lawal after Fabio Turchi, but the board weren't happy with that. So yeah, I had to unfortunately vacate the belt, but and it's obviously such a prestigious belt and one everyone loves holding, and I'd love to hold on to it for as long as I can. But it's unfortunately had to vacate it, and I'm not sure that they're going to reinstate.
That aside, obviously still got the European title on the line here. We've spoken about your world rankings before. I think you rank 3, 3, 5, and 8 with the 4 major governing bodies at the minute. It's not out of question to think you'll be 1, maybe 2 in at least one governing body if you beat Tommy McCarthy. Is that something you think about, or is that something that needs to be at the back of your mind with this fight to focus on?
Yeah, I never really focused on the rankings. I just focused on myself and my performances, and there, because at the end of the day, the better you perform, the higher you'll get ranked, and the closer you are to fighting for a world title, and the closer you are to be ready to fight for a world title as well. So yeah, I'm probably only a few fights away now, so I can put this one to bed and keep progressing, and then look for that. Look towards that world level.
If all does go well next weekend, is this going to be the year that in the summer you're going to be knocking on Eddie Hearn's door, telling them to bring a show back down to Bournemouth?
Yeah. Definitely, I'll be having a word with Eddie next week about that. Trying to get that show back down in Bournemouth. I've really, it's really something that would mean a huge amount to me. Bringing a show down there, it's never been done. So I can't see why it can't happen. There's been shows before elsewhere in smaller towns, and European belts on the line as headlining the show. So I'd love that to be able to get sorted this year, and I think that's a big thing for me moving forward. Is I want to. All my fans are down there. It's not like I've got a massive following, but back home, like I see a lot of people out and about, and that support me, and they want to show down in Bournemouth, and I think it'd be a huge event for the town. It's obviously it's home for me, and it's a place I hold very dearly. Obviously the football club are behind me, and the football club are doing superb as well. So it'd be great if we can get promoted this season and celebrate with a boxing show in the summer and back home.
One fight I want to get your thoughts on. Obviously, you're all for Richard Riakporhe and Dion Juma, someone we thought you were going to cross paths with for quite a long time. What did you make of Richard's performance in that fight?
I thought it was quite a slow pace, the fight in general, to be honest. I thought Richard was just sort of feeling him out most of the time and not doing much. Didn't look like he was. And I thought Dion was boxing well and he was doing what he had to do. And but Richard's always dangerous, and that's exactly how I half expected the fight to go. I thought Dion would give him trouble, and if Dion can stay on his feet, he'd get a decision. But Richard carries power, and we've seen that. He's seems to drop everyone pretty much, and then he obviously found the shot in the fourth, I think it was, and then obviously a good placed body shot in the eighth, and that was all she wrote. So, but yeah, it was. I thought Dion boxed well, how I expected him to. He likes to move his head a lot, and he can awkward and cause problems, and he's got a huge amount of ability. But I think with Richard, he carries that power. Maybe he relies on it too much, but you can't fault him. So we've obviously still getting the results. So yeah, but it wasn't that an impressive performance or anything like that. I wasn't blown away by it. But yeah, it's just another domestic fight, and it was definitely sort of domestic level as well.
Yeah, Richard told us on Fight Week that he felt like whoever wins out of you and Tommy, he's destined to cross paths with again at some point. Do you echo that? Do you think that is a fight that we will see down the line, the rematch?
Absolutely, yeah, I think so. I think it makes sense. I mean, we're both obviously. It wouldn't really make sense for it to happen now, I don't think, from a business point of view. Although if we got offered it next, I'm sure me and the two, I'd definitely take it, and I'm sure the team would take it. But I think we're both highly ranked in governing bodies, so it makes sense to fight for a world title. So yeah, I'm sure that'll happen one day, if provided we both keep winning, and that's that's obviously what we both plan on doing.
Chris, my last one's a bit of a random question, but I was speaking to Brad Pauls yesterday about his experiences of sparring with George Groves, and he told me George is the best fighter he's ever sparred with. I know you sparred with George, David Hay, obviously you got Lawrence Okoli in the gym. I just wanted to finish by asking you, if you had to pick one, who's the best fighter you've ever sparred with and why?
I mean, George was obviously a super middleweight. I mean, he didn't walk around at super middleweight, but and I was, you know, I was a cruiserweight at the time, although I wasn't massive for the weight when I used to spar him, but I was still a cruiserweight. And I'd say in that respect, you know, he was a phenomenal fighter, and I think I'd have to say George on that basis, because we were at the same weight. And it wasn't like it was, you know, it was an easy work for me. You know, he used to ping my head off with his jab, as everyone knows with George's jab, and everyone who's shared the ring with him knows how good it is. And so, yeah, I'd probably have to say George, but, you know, like Lawrence is up there as well because he's so awkward and effective. But yeah, I'd say George is probably the best I've sparred, like I said, mainly because of the difference in weight. And him still being so strong and powerful and sharp at the weight.
All right, Chris, I appreciate taking the time out when you're deep into camp. So we'll leave it there. But thank you as always for speaking to Boxing Social, and I'll see you next week.
Yes, nice one. Cheers, Ryan. See you next week, mate.